A landmark case heads to the Supreme Court today, a challenge to Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming medical care for minors. This case could have wide-reaching implications across the country as the debate rages over what kind of care is appropriate for transgender kids and when it's appropriate for that treatment to start. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey is outside the Supreme Court for us this morning ahead of today's historic case. Tom, good morning to you. What is the central question to this case for these justices?
Hey, good morning, Markie. In just a few hours, oral arguments will begin here at the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. For the first time ever in the Supreme Court's history, and at the very core of this case, is the question of whether or not a state ban against a transgender child or teenager blocking gender therapy things, and whether or not that amounts to sex discrimination. At the very core of this case is Senate Bill number 1 out of Tennessee, which bans transgender teens and children from receiving things like puberty blockers and other hormone treatments that can be prescribed by a doctor. And that would apply to anyone under 18 who identifies as transgender. 3 families, including one from Nashville with a 15-year-old transgender daughter, are challenging the law's constitutionality, which could have a far-reaching impact across the country. 26 states have passed bans on gender-affirming care for trans children, and nearly 120,000 teens who identify as transgender live in those states. More than 20 states have asked the court to uphold the Tennessee law. Tennessee's Attorney General says states have a role to protect children and that gender-affirming care can be life-altering as well as risky. But the ACLU, which is representing the families in court, says the Tennessee law and others like it violate the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.